Show me.
I'm the Martial Arts Film Freak, and I watched Magic Crystal. Magic Crystal is a 1986 film. It is not The Dark Crystal. I feel like just that title is so famous and perfect that anytime you say Crystal, you think of that movie. It is not that. This is a Hong Kong Kung Fu movie. Directed by, what was his name as my IMDb page loads here again, Jing Wong, who is also in the movie. It stars pretty dang stacked cast. You have Andy Lau, Cynthia Rothrock, Pak Chung Chan, Man Chung, Jing Wong himself, as I said, Siu Chung Mok, Philip Ko, Qian Shi, and Richard Norton. That's some really good people. Oh, also an actress named Wei Wei Huang. I only really mention her because she does something in this that I did not see coming. Magic Crystal is very E.T. Indiana Jones meets Hong Kong Kung Fu. Andy Lau and Jing Wong take Andy Lau's nephew, Jing Wong's son, on a vacation trip to Greece, and they come back with this giant green jade. And it starts talking to the kid, and it glows, and it has mind tricks, and it can trick people into seeing things or not seeing things or thinking things and doing things. And of course, Richard Norton's bad guy also wants the stone to like experiment on it or something, and then there's a whole deeper plot, and the film goes Crystal Skull before Crystal Skull was even a thing. This movie was a lot to handle. I started to take notes on this movie, as I do with every movie that I talk about, and I really only took one note, and that is, I hate the crystal. I don't mind the talking, I don't mind the glowing, the mind control, all that stuff. For some reason, it actually gave me Godzilla vibes. It gave me the vibes of, like, the fairy twins that, like, are friends with Mothra or something. I don't remember Godzilla that well. But it felt like that for a bit, and I was cool with it. But then it did other things that I did not enjoy. I think at one point it asks, like, the kid for, like, a pinky promise or something, and the kid's like, but you don't have fingers, and it just, like, grows a finger, and it's all glowy, and it's all moving around out of this rock, and I didn't like that at all. And then later on, it's walking. It has four little legs. It just starts walking around, and that made me uncomfortable as well. At one point, the kid's eating ice cream, and he starts feeding the crystal some ice cream, and it has a mouth with a few teeth, and it's taking bites, and that's uncomfortable. All of a sudden, just a big-ass tongue comes out, and it's moving around. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. That was horrible. If this was, like, their idea of, like, E.T., you did worse. You did worse than Mac and Me. All right, not quite worse than Mac and Me, but you came close. This movie was textbook Hong Kong goofiness, and it worked sometimes. I enjoyed a few gags. I enjoyed a bit of the mind control bits. You know, at one point he controls this one character who's mostly annoying. One character who is a bit of the comedy is mostly just really, really annoying, and I wanted him to go away. The crystal tricks him into thinking he can, like, mind control people to do whatever he wants. So he, like, goes to a bank, and he just looks at a guy, and he's like, forget my face. And the guy just, like, really creepily walks away, so he's thinking, like, oh, he forgot my face, that's cool, it worked. And then he, like, goes to the bank, and he's like, give me all the big bills. And he's thinking it's working, and it actually was quite funny until he's carted away to an insane asylum. But that worked. That's probably the only thing that worked. The only thing I thought was funny. Everything else was most of the everything else is really annoying. That guy got annoying. The dad got annoying. It's just weird. It feels safe to say that some of the plot points of this movie were just kind of thrown together for the sake of having characters that could do fight scenes. Like, the dude from Once Upon a Time in China, who at first when I saw him, I was like, oh god, not that guy. He's so annoying in Once Upon a Time in China. But then, he's cool. He's a different character. I forgot that he's an actor. He was good in this. Not annoying at all. Him and Cynthia Rothrock are like FBI or something. And I guess that they were tracking Richard Norton? But they're around a lot. Like, they just kind of show up places, and I don't know why. But we get good fight scenes out of it, so I'm not really complaining that much. Oh yeah, and at one point the Crystal tricks the really annoying guy in well, he doesn't even trick him. He actually physically changes him. He says, "Hey kid, who I'd like, and we don't trust this guy. Do you want me to change his body for 24 hours?" And so he wakes up and his feet are on his hands and his hands are on his feet. It's like fun gag on maybe a different character, because this character took it way too far, did some really annoying stuff with it. It's just bad. A lot of this movie was pretty annoying for the I'm not like, I get that it's like it's the time, it's what is it? It's a cultural thing, you know. Some cultures may find something hilarious that I won't. Maybe they did, but I found it just dreadful. I mean, not dreadful, but pretty bad. All right, now we can get to the action, because the fights in this, I was surprised. Even though going in, knowing who was in this movie, almost knowing who was in this movie, I'll explain. Cynthia Rothrock and Andy Lau. You know, Andy Lau, I don't totally look at as an amazing martial artist, because I mostly see him as a dramatic actor, but I know, you know, he did like Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars. Of course, you have Shaolin later in his career. You just don't look at him as like, oh yeah, that guy always provides great fight scenes. But yeah, no, that dude provides great fight scenes, especially in the 80s. But you had Cynthia Rothrock and Richard Norton, so you knew you were getting good stuff out of that. Cynthia Rothrock is, of course, amazing. She is a highlight of this movie. Anytime she's on screen, she provides everything she's there for. I was super surprised by Andy Lau. I think that if you put Andy Lau alongside Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, and Yuen Biao, he maybe doesn't stand out. But if you just give him his own movie, the dude's gonna stand out. Because he doesn't even necessarily stand out in Shaolin. Because in Shaolin, you've also got Jing Yu, Nicholas T, Wu Jing, a little bit of Jackie Chan, a bunch of monk kids. You got people who are gonna stand out a little bit more than Andy Lau. But if you just provide him some space to do his thing, let Andy Lau do his own fights, his own stunts, maybe his own stunts, I don't know. The dude's gonna surprise you. You also had Siu Chung Mok. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that well. The dude from Once Upon a Time in China, he also had some really good, really fun stuff in here. It was really nice to see Qian Shi and Philip Ko, even though they don't really do anything. Richard Norton is just Richard Norton. He is one of the best kung fu movie villains of all time. The surprise here was Wei Wei Huang. I think this is the actress I'm thinking of in this movie. And it maybe wouldn't be a surprise if I knew more like classic Hong Kong badasses. But I'm not aware of her. I'm sorry. I'm just not. She's the mother in this. And they just kind of paint her at first as like, oh, she didn't go on the trip because she just likes to stay at home, bake a little bit, and watch her dramas. She's crying, watching TV all the time. But when Richard Norton and his thugs break into the house, she gets a sword. And oh my god, she's a wushu master badass, and she ruled for like 10 minutes straight. She was the star. Everything she did was amazing. Anytime it cut away from her to go to somebody else, even if it was like Andy Lau, I was like, nope, take it back to her, because she's ruling this movie so far for this little span of time here. And then Cynthia Rothrock comes in and they double team on Richard Norton, and it was just amazing. Freaking amazing. I did not see that coming. I'm sitting here watching thinking Andy Lau, Richard Norton, Cynthia Rothrock, this is going to be incredible, and all of a sudden Wei Wei Huang comes in and just steals the movie. If you haven't seen her fight scenes, if you haven't seen Magic Crystal, but if you haven't seen her fight scenes in this movie, oh my god. Because I'm sure if you've looked up fight scenes in this movie, you've seen the Andy Lau stuff, the Richard Norton, you've seen the Cynthia Rothrock stuff, because Cynthia Rothrock this was really a good standout movie for her. But if you haven't seen that good 5 to 10 minutes of Wei Wei Huang, holy shit. The movie got super Indiana Jones, the movie got super E.T., but also the movie is super Hong Kong Kung Fu, and I love it for that. The comedy is annoying. The comedy is hard to watch. The character, I was going to say the characters are fun enough, but then I think about like at least 2 characters that I wanted to just go away the entire movie. The stars. Is Jing Wong a star of this movie? I don't know. Andy Lau, Cynthia Rothrock, Richard Norton. Those 3 are wonderful, I will say, for the most part. Granted, I don't speak Cantonese or Mandarin, so I'm relying on subtitles here. But their screen presence is all great. I'm just thinking of like a score when there is like a whole lot of like comedy stuff that I hated, but everything else around it was amazing. Like the opening fight scene, all the stuff in Greece, the stuff in the house, Wei Wei Huang, all the stuff in the Indiana Jones cave system stuff. It's all wonderful. Oh god, I hate when this happens. I'm thinking 3.75 Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls out of 5. I want to say 4, and it's weird. I don't know. I feel like it's such a close score. I want to say 4, but the thing is, like if 5 is like a perfect movie, 4 has to be like a great, really, really good, but something's not quite pushing it to 5 movie. And this is not a 4, but it's like better than like a 3. It's just in that middle section there. 3.75 Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls out of 5. That feels good with a little bit of explanation on it. Yeah. But tell me what you thought of, I almost said Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Magic Crystal. I have this nice little, I don't know who released this copy, but it's pretty good. I like this sleeve. It's really nice. I like it. This is a cool release, however, cool Blu-ray. It has a few quality issues. If 88 Films or Eureka ever releases this, I'll definitely pick up their copy. But I enjoyed it. What did you think of Magic Crystal? Have you seen the Magic Crystal, or have you just looked up the fight scenes because you looked up Cynthia Rothrock fight scenes one day, and that's what came up? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Head over to Facebook, or there is the Martial Arts Film Freak Facebook page, Instagram, Martial Arts Film Freak, Tristan_Glover on the Twitter, and Martial Arts Film Freak on TikTok. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.